Hello and welcome to part 6 of the series on computer networks. I hope you have watched the previous parts of this series. If not, you can always check them out. The link is given in the description. Our today's topic of discussion is network topology. So let's try to understand what network topology means. So network topology means the manner in which computers in a network are connected to each other. It is known as network topology. So let's try to understand this. So let's say you have 5 computers. You want to set up an office and you have 5 computers. Now you are in a dilemma how you want to connect those 5 computers. Let's say you can connect all those 5 computers in this manner with a wire. You can connect it, let's say, in this manner, or you may connect one computer here and other 4 computers here. So this is also one of the methods. So this is one type of topology. This may be another type of topology. This may be another type of topology. In computer networks, we have various standard procedures in which computers are connected in a network. Those standard procedures or the manner in which computers are connected in a network, it is known as network topology. Let us go to the different types of network topologies available. So the first type of network topology is your bus topology. Second is star topology, then mesh topology, tree topology, and finally the ring topology. Now we will discuss each type of topology and their advantages and disadvantages. So let's begin with bus topology. So this is the diagram of bus topology. Let's say you have 5 computers. If you want to connect them in a bus topology, you will connect it in the following manner. So what bus topology means? It consists of a single length of the transmission medium. What is this wire? This is the transmission medium. I have already discussed about transmission medium in one of the previous parts. You can always check it out if you haven't yet. So in case of bus topology, there will be a single length of transmission medium, and onto that transmission medium the different nodes are connected. What are nodes? These are the various computers. What are the advantages of bus topology? The advantages are it requires very short cable length. So since all the computers are connected, if I go back, you can see all the computers are connected in a single wire itself, and this wire is known as the bus. So therefore the amount of cabling required is very less. So it requires very short cabling. Next is simple architecture. The architecture is very simple. It is therefore it is very easy to install and maintain it. It is easy to extend. Now see, we have connected how many computers here? We have connected 5 computers. Let's say one more computer needs to be connected. Yes, of course you can just extend it and connect one new computer over here. Okay. So these are the advantages of bus topologies. Now let's go to the disadvantages. Fault diagnosis is difficult. So if some error comes up in any of the computers, it is very difficult to diagnose the faults. It leads to shutdown in entire network in case of breakdown in the main cable. If the main cable in case of bus topology fails, then the entire network is disrupted. Fault isolation is difficult. So if there is a fault in any of the nodes in the bus topology, then it is very difficult to isolate only that node and run the network effectively. Let's go to the next type of topology, which is your star topology. As you can see in the diagram, in case of star topology, there is one central connector. That central connector can be a hub or a switch. I have already discussed what is hub, what is switch in one of the previous parts. You can always go and check it out. So in case of star topology, all nodes are connected to the central node. In case of a star topology, there is a central node and all the other nodes are connected to this central node. What are the advantages of star topology? The advantages are it is very easy to install and wire. So you can just buy a hub and connect all the nodes to the topology. One device per connection. So in one connection, see here, so if I draw a rough diagram of star topology, this is, let's say, a hub, and these are the various nodes, let's say n1, n2, n3, n4. So per connection, this is one connection, per connection there is how many devices? Only one device. So this is an advantage, no disruption in network while connecting or removing devices. So if from these devices, if we remove one device, then there is no error in the network, or there is no disruption in network services. Easier fault detection and isolation. If there is some fault or error in one of the nodes, then it can be detected and isolated very easily. Next we go to the disadvantages of star topology. What are the disadvantages? Long cable length. Obviously, from each node we have one cable. Therefore, the length of cable required is more in case of star topology. Central node failure leads in the entire network failure. See, in case of star topology, everything is dependent on the central node. Now, if this central node fails, then the entire network will disrupt. It is very difficult to expand. So now presently, let's say there are 4 nodes here. If you want to attach 5-6 more nodes, then it is very difficult in case of star topology. It is expensive as compared to bus topology, and as the length of cabling required is more, we require different devices, different other devices, so it is expensive as compared to the previous, that is bus topology. Next we go to mesh topology. In case of mesh topology, every device on the network is connected to every other devices. So let's say how many devices we have here, 1 2 3 4 5. Now say each device is connected to every other device. So this is the architecture of mesh topology. What are the advantages? Extensive backup. There is a backup of files in each of the nodes. So in case of some crash, at least one copy will be available in one of the nodes. No congestion as dedicated connection is available among the nodes. So here no network congestion, or there is no problem of network traffic as each node is connected to every other node. Whenever one node wants to transmit data to a different node, it can do so easily. What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are expensive because of long cable length. Obviously, if you need to connect each node to every other node, then there will be a problem of cabling. So if there is a problem of cabling, obviously it will become more and more expensive. Requirement of bulk wiring. Obviously it follows the previous point, the amount of wiring required will be more. Next, it is difficult to configure and set up. So initial setup is very difficult in case of mesh topology. Now let's go to the next type of topology, which is tree topology. In case of tree topology, star networks are connected via bus networks. So if you see the central connector is a bus. To this bus, we have several star network topology, okay, which forms a tree structure. Therefore, it is known as tree topology. What are the advantages of tree topology? It uses point-to-point wiring for individual segments. So point-to-point wiring is there. Therefore, in case of, see here, one segment, so let's say this is one segment, one device per connection is there. Therefore, we say that it is a point-to-point connection. Next advantage is it is supported by several hardware and software vendors. So this type of topology is supported by various hardware and software manufacturers. Let's go to the disadvantages of tree topology. What are the disadvantages? It is expensive because of long cable length. So in case of tree topology, we have a central bus connector. To the central bus connector, there are various star topologies. Therefore, the amount of cabling required is more. If the backbone fails, entire network goes down. So, if the backbone, that means if the bus fails, then the entire network will be disrupted. Next is wiring and configuration is complex. So, initial setup and configuration, it is complex because here we require a bus, and with the bus we require various star topology networks. Next, let us go to the ring topology. In case of ring topology, each node, let's say these are the nodes, each node is connected only to its two neighboring nodes. See, let's say the node 1 is connected to the neighboring nodes 2 and 6, node 2 is connected to the neighboring nodes 1 and 3, and so on. Here data is transmitted with the help of a token which circulates around a ring. In case of ring topology, we have something known as a token, and initially what happens, let's try to understand with the help of my diagram. Okay, so let's say this is a ring topology. Here we have 6 nodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Each node will have its own address. Let's say the addresses are A, B, C, D, E, N, F of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 respectively. Now, let's say our job is to send data from 1 to 4. Before sending data, what will happen? There will be something known as token. The token will move around the token ring, and after moving around the token ring, let's say we need to send data from the node 1 to node 4. Now, how node 1 will transmit data to node 4? It will do so along with the help of the token. So, it will attach 3 things to the token. The first thing is it will attach a token number. For example, 1 will attach the token, let's say as 1. It will attach the message which it wants to send to 4. Let's say the message is 1001, and also it will attach the destination address to that token. So 3 things will go from the sender to the receiver. What are the 3 things? One is the token, other is the message, and finally the destination address will be sent. After attaching all these things, the token will be carried from 1 to 2. Then 2 will check if it has its destination address. What is the destination address? It is D. So 2 will understand that it is that particular token is not for 2. So what it will do? It will reject the token and send it forward. So it will send it to 3. So then 3 will analyze that token and it will see that the destination address is D. So it will also reject the token and send it to 4. Then 4 will analyze that token and it finds that it has its own destination address which is D. So what it will do? It will copy the message. It will copy the message 1001, and then what it will do? It will change the token from 1. It was 1 initially. See here. So it will change the token from 1 to 0, and after that it will send it forward. Then it will go to 5. 5 will also analyze it. Then it will find that it is not for itself. Then it will give it forward and so on. Now finally, when 1 will analyze the token, it will find that the token bit which was 1 initially has been changed to 0. When it has changed to 0, it will understand that its message has been received by 4 successfully. This is how a token ring works, and this is about ring topology. You can watch this animation and it will be very clear. Whatever I have taught you just now, it is there in this animation. Let us go to the advantages of ring topology. The advantages are no chance of packet collision since data flows in only one direction. So there is no chance of collision with other packets. Why? Because as you can see here, the data, it flows only in one direction. Therefore, there is no chance of collision in case of ring topology. Second advantage is no network server is required. Here there is no central point of connection. Therefore, no network server is required. High speed data transfer. The data transfer rate is high in case of ring topology. What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages is that troubleshooting is difficult, as the entire network in case of ring topology runs on a token. So if there is any fault, it is very difficult to troubleshoot or rectify it. Next is adding or deleting the computers disturbs the network activity. So if we keep on adding or removing computers from a ring topology, it will disturb the entire network activity. Failure of one computer disturbs the whole network. So if there is as it forms a ring, any breakage in the ring will lead to the disturbance in the entire network. So whatever I have explained in the ring topology, you can just note it down as a part of the notes. Okay, whatever I have explained you with the help of the diagram, it is given in here. So with this, we complete the chapter 10 of the book Sumita Arora. Okay, from now on, whatever sessions I'll be making regarding computer networks, it will be from chapter 11. So thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the session.